Hey, albums that fans hate, but I absolutely love. 999, 13th Floor Madness. Well, people hate this. I hated it. The band hates it. I've seen interviews with Nick Cash and Guy Days calling it an awful album. Nick Cash called it an arsehole of an album. Anyway, I'll tell you why I don't think it is an arsehole of an album. To understand why people hated this, you kind of have to backtrack a little bit to the earlier stuff. Debut, 999. High energy power pop punk. Second album, more of the same, separates. Great album. High energy power pop punk. High energy power pop punk. Biggest prize in sport. I had another one after that called Concrete, which I've only got on CD and I couldn't be bothered getting it out of the box wherever it is, so just pretend it's right here in my hand. And then 13th Floor Madness came out and it's total diversion compared to any of that other stuff. When I got this originally, I already had the other albums and loved them, big fan of the band. And yeah, I put this on and God, it sounded terrible. Like I felt embarrassed for the band, that sort of secondhand embarrassment shit that you get for other people. But now I guess I'm just embarrassed for myself because, yeah, I really love this album. Took a while to warm up to it. I think I was kind of sick of listening to all of the other albums so much. I just had them on constant fucking repeat. So thought I'd give this another few listens, and then it just seemed to grow on me. Hearing different things that I hadn't heard before, probably interested in probably more bands like this that went on an experimental tangent to what they were usually doing. The older I got, the more I admired stuff like that. This incorporates kind of more dance pop, second wave, ska, reggae, soul, Motown type influences. I think the biggest problem with this album isn't so much the songs themselves but the production. It's of its time, but it doesn't have a big budget gloss about it, so it can kind of sound a bit like weak and insipid. A lot of the like synth type sounds, like very reminiscent of like a Commodore 64 type sound, or even like the Peter Davison era Doctor Who sort of background noises. That's one of the things I actually like about this, is that it just reminds me of that so slap bang in that 1983 low budget type shit, Cardboard Daleks and all that crap. Guy Days, the guitarist, is probably like the highlight of this for me. He's just a really inventive rhythm player, but some of the lead stuff he does on this is like the solos are just ripping and probably display a little bit more of that urgency and energy or aggression that the previous albums have got. Really cutting like guitar tone on some of the solos, which the rhythm tracks are a little bit subdued. I couldn't imagine anyone else singing this album and actually like selling it as well as Nick Cash, one of my favourite singers from that whole scene as well. I actually I just wanted to be Nick Cash when I was younger. I like modelled my whole vocal style off him and that whiny and nasally sort of attack. On this, he does more of that kind of whispering stuff that he's also really good at. That's why I couldn't imagine anyone else singing on this, because of that whispering thing that he does. It's like I've tried that whispering thing. I just feel like a dickhead, but Nick Cash, one of the only people that can pull that off in my opinion. Great singer. Jon Watson on the bass, like just another like really creative bass player. Not just a constant steady bass line, but he'll like stop and start where he needs to, really playing for the song. Although I've got to say, one of the songs, Hang It All, it's a total rip of the Billie Jean bass line, and this came out a year after Billie Jean, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of took some notes from that song with the same bass line throughout the whole song. But yeah, Hang It All, cool song. Pablo Labritain, say that 3 times fast. His drumming style is a little bit stiff usually, and it kind of suits this. It gives that kind of 80s sterile feel to it. I say sterile like that's a bad thing. Actually, like I really like that vibe on this album. Interestingly enough, Pablo Labritain was a school friend of Joe Strummer's, and Pablo actually played in The Clash for a couple of weeks before they settled on the lineup with Terry Chimes on drums. Pablo left to join 999. I don't know, was that a mistake? 999 were awesome and The Clash were awesome. Cool. Highlights would be Book of Love, real Motown soul kind of vibe on that one. Great female vocals in the chorus, just really catchy. 13th Floor Madness, the title track, it's got a bit of a Halloween spooky kind of thing, spaghetti western guitar kind of vibe, sort of like what they did on Obsessed from the Concrete album. the aforementioned Hang It All, love that. Then the album ends with Nightshift, which I also love, a bit of an upbeat electro-funk kind of thing that long-time fans will absolutely hate. Probably just did that to rub it in. This is the last 999 album to have singles actively taken from it. I think the singles were the title track and Arabesque, which is a strange one. That's one of my least favourite on the album. I would have gone for Book of Love for sure, but anyway. So that kind of signalled, well, after that, the fact that they didn't release any singles from their, the next album was Face to Face. Terrible cover. There were no singles from that, so that kind of indicated that maybe the label wasn't interested anymore, and that was kind of, I think the band split up after that and then got back together. I like the Face to Face album. It's probably the last good album in my opinion. Like when they reformed it just seemed to be, let's go back to our old sound. That's what I love about this one, is that they were experimenting. I kind of really respected that they were like, let's just do something fucking crazy. Let's not pander to the audience. I know people go, oh, it's your fans that get you to where you are, but you know, sometimes you just got to do some shit for yourself, and fucking this is a testament to that kind of philosophy. One thing I must mention is that this is one of the worst fucking album covers I've ever seen. Terrible photo, blown out, they all look terrible. What's this little like plastic fly bullshit? Fucking just weird. Jon Watson with his like big bare chest. Guy Days looks like he's hungover as shit. He probably is. But anyway, terrible design. But that almost kind of adds to it as well. Like just the fucking, I don't know. This is just a weird album, and I love it because of all of those things. The thing about this album is that you can't listen to it expecting it to elicit the same kind of feelings that you get from all of the previous albums. You really got to listen to this as its own entity. You know, give it a few spins, things might start sinking in, and maybe you'll like it too, but probably not.